Our world is filled with oddities, strange stories about strange creatures which may or may not be real. Probably the big three of paranormal creatures would be Bigfoot, aliens, and the Loch Ness Monster. The Loch Ness Monster, good old Nessie, was my favorite for quite some time. I watched documentaries, read books, and accumulated as much information as I could about the alleged sightings. So of course I was familiar with the origins of the Loch Ness Monster. St. Columba rebuking the mighty beast in 565 AD. I remember reading the tale and thinking that it had elements that may have been true and others that were absurd. Despite the authenticity of the story, it at least provided the foundation for belief in a mysterious creature that inhabited the loch. In other words, I thought the story was exaggerated hogwash. It was obvious that the true Loch Ness Monster was a plesiosaur that had somehow survived and made its dwelling in Loch Ness. In 1934, the infamous surgeon photo was taken, which fully authenticated the existence of the beast. Until 60 years later, when the people were responsible for the photo admitted that it was a hoax and revealed to the world how they faked the photo. It was a huge blow to Nessie fandom. Nonetheless, I was still confident in all of the stories and all of the photos and all of the video evidence that had been accumulated over the years to prove the existence of Nessie, as well as its identity as the last known surviving plesiosaur. Yet, one by one, every single legitimate piece of evidence was debunked. Each new sighting became increasingly absurd. Finally, I gave up on Nessie and became a skeptic. I joined a group of people that would intensely scrutinize each and every video and photo that came out, quickly identifying what was truly being portrayed in each picture. Then one day, I heard a story about Nessie, a purely fictional story about Nessie that changed my perspective on what the creature might actually be. The story told of two men heading out to find the Loch Ness Monster. One of them wanted to find Nessie. The other man knew how to find Nessie. Instead of hunting Nessie, like many have endeavored to do, the man summoned Nessie through a pagan ritual. Upon performance of the ritual, a violent Nessie surfaced from the depths and tore one of the men to pieces. Albeit a fictional tale, it caused me to recall the original story of Nessie and St. Columba. St. Columba was an Irish missionary that sought to convert the Scottish to Christianity. In 565 AD, he came to the river Ness, which flowed from Lake Ness, or Loch Ness as we know it. He and his men had observed a disturbance. A man was being buried after having been attacked and killed by a monstrous sea serpent dwelling in the depths of the loch. St. Columba, upon hearing the tale, laid his staff across the chest of the man who had been slain, and to the surprise of his funeral party, he came back to life. They were impressed, but there was still a monster lurking in the lake. St. Columba called out to one of his traveling companions, Brother Lune Mokumen, who was also a monk, and asked him to swim across the loch and bring back a boat from the other side. Mokumen didn't hesitate. He began making his way across the loch, only to behold the same beast that took the life of the man Columba had just brought back to life. The beast drew nearer and nearer with murderous intent. It opened its mouth and came within the distance of a walking stick, when St. Columba made the sign of the cross and rebuked the beast in the name of the Lord, telling Nessie, "You will go no further." It stopped dead in its wake and retreated back to the depths of the loch. Brother Mokumen unscathed. After seeing Columba rebuke the mighty serpent, the Picts that were present immediately committed their lives to serving the God of St. Columba, Jesus Christ. We can call this a legend. We can say that this story is too fantastic to be believed, but the name of Jesus is powerful. And many demonic entities have been cast away by invoking his name. So, is it possible that Nessie is, or at least was, real? Is it possible that Nessie was not a plesiosaur? Is it possible that Nessie was cast away by St. Columba in 565 AD? Is it possible that in the 21st century, pagan rituals may have brought Nessie back?